He walked into the most expensive restaurant in the city with all the power money could buy. But one quiet table, one single mother, and one innocent question from his son changed his life forever. The chandelier lights of Lever Royale shimmered like frozen stars, reflecting off crystal glasses and polished marble floors. It was the kind of place where whispers carried more weight than words, and where everyone pretended not to notice anyone else unless they were someone important. Ethan Widmore walked in holding his 6-year-old son's hand. Ethan was known across the country as a business giant, a man who had turned struggle into success through discipline and long nights. His tailored black suit fit him perfectly, but tonight, his shoulders felt heavier than usual. "Dad," his son Noah asked softly, adjusting his small red vest, "is this where people celebrate?" Ethan smiled faintly. "Sometimes, buddy, sometimes they just come here to feel less alone." They were escorted to a table near the center of the restaurant. Conversations hummed around them, investments, travels, achievements, but Ethan wasn't listening. Then, he saw her. Across the room, near a window overlooking the city lights, sat a black woman in a simple red dress. She wasn't dressed for attention, yet somehow she drew it without trying. Her posture was calm, graceful. Across from her sat a little girl, no older than 5, laughing quietly as she tried to twirl pasta with her fork. The woman laughed too, not loudly, not for show, but with warmth. The kind of laugh that came from surviving storms and still believing in sunshine. Ethan couldn't look away. Noah noticed before his father realized it. "Daddy," Noah whispered, tugging his hand, "why is that lady smiling like that?" Ethan blinked. "Like what? Like she's happy even when nobody's watching." That question landed deeper than Ethan expected. He glanced again. The woman gently wiped her daughter's mouth, leaned down, and whispered something that made the child giggle uncontrollably. Ethan felt something unfamiliar twist inside his chest. They ordered their meals, but Ethan barely touched his food. His mind drifted, not to deals or deadlines, but to memories he rarely allowed himself to revisit. Years ago, he had loved someone deeply, but ambition had demanded everything. When life asked him to choose, he chose work. The cost had been a quiet house, and a growing distance from the parts of himself that once felt alive. "Dad," Noah said again, "why is that girl eating without her dad?" Ethan hesitated. "Sometimes families look different," he said carefully. "And that's okay?" Noah nodded thoughtfully. "She looks happy though." Ethan followed Noah's gaze. The woman caught him looking, and instead of turning away, she offered a polite smile. Not curious, not impressed, just kind. Ethan felt his breath catch. A few moments later, the little girl dropped her fork. It clattered loudly against the floor, drawing attention from nearby tables. Some diners frowned. Before the staff could react, Ethan stood. He walked over, picked up the fork, and handed it to the child with a warm smile. "Happens to the best of us." The little girl grinned. "Thank you, mister." The woman stood slightly. "Thank you," she said. Her voice was calm, steady. "That's very kind." Ethan nodded. "No trouble at all." There was a pause, brief, but meaningful. "I'm Ethan," he said finally. "Maya," she replied. No last names, no titles, just 2 people. Noah stepped forward. "I'm Noah. Can my dad sit with you?" "He looks lonely." Ethan's eyes widened. "Noah." Maya laughed softly. "Children are honest," she said. "If you'd like, you're welcome to join us." They moved tables. Conversation flowed slowly, at first about food, about the city lights, but soon turned deeper. Maya spoke of raising her daughter, Lily, on her own. Of long days, quiet strength, and choosing joy even when life felt heavy. "I don't have much," Maya said gently, "but I make sure she never feels unloved." Ethan listened, truly listened, for the first time in years. "I have everything," he admitted quietly, "and sometimes I forget how to feel it." Noah and Lily were already laughing together, drawing pictures on napkins. Time seemed to slow. When the check arrived, Maya reached for her purse. Ethan shook his head. "Please, let me." She hesitated, then nodded. "Thank you." As they stood to leave, Ethan did something he hadn't planned. "Maya," he said, "would you like to have dinner again sometime?" No expectations, just conversation. She studied him, not his suit, not his posture, but his eyes. "I'd like that," she said. Weeks passed, then months. Dinners turned into walks, walks into shared stories into trust. Ethan never told her who he really was, not because he was hiding, but because he wanted to be known without the weight of wealth. One afternoon, Maya finally learned the truth when a news segment played in a cafe, showing Ethan signing papers beside world leaders. She went quiet. "I didn't know," she said later that night. "I wanted you to know me first," he replied honestly. "Not my name." Maya took a deep breath. "Then promise me something, anything. Never forget who you were before I knew your title." Ethan nodded. "I promise." That night, standing under the city lights, Ethan realized something powerful. He had searched the world for success, but love had found him when he stopped looking. And this time, he chose it. It's stories like this touch your heart, remind you of hope, and make you believe in unexpected love. Please subscribe to Black Inside 2.0, where every story carries meaning, dignity, and emotion.